Hello, welcome once again to Matthew Mondays. Here on Vlogorifics this week, it is Mystery Week, so I thought I would take a look at the guy who solves them the best. It's Sherlock Holmes. In 1886, Arthur Conan Doyle wrote A Study in Scarlet, which was the first ever story to feature Sherlock himself, and since then he's lived on in various forms and in various bits of media. Without a doubt, he is the first thing you think of when you say detective. And it's not hard to see why. Even though we are long since out of the Victorian age, Sherlock Holmes has lived on and has always been relevant. But why? Well, my friends, that's because you don't need the Victorian setting to do Sherlock. You can do Sherlock whenever you want. And there's something fascinating about a guy who can notice patterns that a normal person would never be able to see. We want to know how he does it. We want to know how Sherlock thinks. And that, I think, is what keeps driving him forward. Why he's never gone out. Why the Sherlock Holmes books are classics to this day. It's funny that no matter what the time period, or hell, even the genre sometimes, Sherlock Holmes himself, or a character like him, is never out of place. As the years go by, Sherlock has inspired more and more characters. I mean, just watch a crime show, and you will be able to pinpoint precisely which character is supposed to be the Sherlock type, the one who can solve the mystery very easily, the one the other characters rely on to solve the mystery, the one who sees the patterns, and the one who thinks very eccentrically compared to everyone else. A good example of how Sherlock even crosses borders is the anime Death Note. I mean, just look at L. He is Japanese Sherlock if there ever was one. I am confident in saying that without Sherlock, L wouldn't exist. So being that he is both a classic and a British hallmark, there have been many adaptations throughout the years. From Peter Cushing, my all-time favourite, to Benedict Cumberbatch, there have been many Sherlocks out the years and many different interpretations. American studios have even taken their turn with shows like Elementary and the recent Robert Downey Jr. version of Sherlock, which I quite enjoyed. It was a bit of fun. The Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock has divided a lot of people. Some say he's the best, which I don't agree with. He's good, but he's not the best Sherlock. And others absolutely despising him because he brought Sherlock a whole load of fangirls, which brings with it its own mess of troubles, but oh well. Stephen Moffat brought Sherlock into the modern day, and I doubt he'll be the last one to do that. There have been multiple times that Sherlock has been brought into the then modern day, and I guarantee there'll be more in the future, which means more interpretations of it, and honestly it's quite fascinating to see how these ones are different. Naming examples I just said, if we compare the Peter Cushing Sherlock to the Benedict Sherlock, Peter Cushing comes off wiser, more of a man about town who knows exactly what's going on, has got it all figured out in his head, but the knowledge will come to him at different moments. He reeks confidence, what I mean. Whereas Benedict comes off more antisocial and less human. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy his portrayal of Sherlock, but Peter Cushing always wins. So at the end of the day, whether it's TV shows, books, or movies, Sherlock is basically immortal. So yeah, thank you for joining me for Matthew Mondays. I shall pass it over to Jeff.